I know that PCOS can make fat loss feel impossible. And if you ever felt like your body is fighting against you no matter what you do, I believe you. But I'll be really clear, like PCOS is not a life sentence. And today I'm going to prove it that we can get you butt naked fine regardless. This particular episode is personal for me because it's about a friend of mine who I had the absolute honor to go on this journey for. She was actually the very first person I ever trained and bodied with PCOS because we've helped so many women get some results. And today I'm going to share one of their journeys in this Ieasha, who was a friend of mine, client first, and who turned friend. I'm going to show you the exact program that I built for her, the workouts, the meal plan, her before and after pics, and basically how she went from frustrated, lost, stuck to loving her body, confident, in control of her PCOS. Now, I'm not going to lie to you, though. This isn't a quick fix, right? This isn't a 7-day miracle or some kind of detox tea. Having PCOS is really about following a plan that is going to work for your hormones, and then all you got to do is show up consistently day by day. And that's exactly how I got results for her. That's exactly how I'm going to get results for you. So by the end of this video, you'll not only understand exactly what PCOS is, but you'll see some transformations, Ieasha, that is possible. And then you have a chance to join the same program that she did inside of my app. And I got you through step by step and have you butt naked fine too. So the first things first, let's break down exactly what PCOS is, right? In plain language, none of that crazy technical stuff. And then we'll figure out why it makes fat loss so challenging. Because once you understand that, everything else is going to make more sense, right? All right, so I know it's coming. I feel it coming. There it is. Intro. So, all right, let's break this down without all that confusing medical jargon, right? So PCOS stands for polycystic ovary syndrome. But honestly, like the name is kind of misleading sometimes because you can have PCOS and not even have cysts on your ovaries. What's really happening is that your hormones are out of balance and that kind of like throws everything off. So PCOS is a hormone and metabolism disorder, and it messes with your insulin, which makes it harder for your body to use carbs properly, which of course leads to fat storage. And then your androgens, which is a male hormone, when you have PCOS, they are actually higher than they should be. And that's what causes like hair growth, acne, irregular periods. And then PCOS also messes with your ovulation. So your cycles gets irregular, they stop altogether, and that can mess with fertility and your energy levels. And I learned all of this training Ieasha. And she came to me with some of the same things that I've heard now over time from clients who have PCOS. One, you believe that you just can't lose weight. And that's false because it's just slower without the right approach. You need somebody like me. And then I believe that, or you believe that you need to cut out all carbs. Nope. You just need to manage your blood sugar with the right carbs. And then the last one that I hear is that you should just do endless cardio, right? When you have PCOS, just run, cardio. Actually, too much cardio can stress your body out and make it worse. So what we get to do is really break this down. So now that you know what PCOS is and why it makes fat loss feel like one of those uphill battles, I'm going to show you how I built Ieasha's workout plan. Because the gym strategy, I trained her in the gym, for PCOS is not the same as one that I would do for a regular client or one of those random YouTube videos that you've been searching. Let's talk about it. All right, so first off, I guess we'll talk about the workouts. Because that's where most people with PCOS that I feel like go wrong. They either go way too hard with HIIT exercises and they end up stressing their body out, or they don't even lift weights at all, don't go to the gym, try to do some home workouts. And both of those approaches will keep your hormones out of balance and you'll feel like your progress is just non-existent. So what I like to do and what I did with Ieasha was do a mix of strength training and HIIT workouts because PCOS is heavily tied to insulin resistance, which means that your body is going to struggle to use the carbs for energy anyway. So strength training really fixes that by building the muscle, because if you build the muscle, then it acts like a sponge for carbs because it wants to hold on to them, and then it's going to keep your blood sugar nice and stable. Not only that, if you lift weights, it helps brings down those androgens, and it really literally will help balance your hormones naturally, which is what I knew going into this with Ieasha. So what I didn't do with her though is I didn't have her spend a whole bunch of hours on cardio. I don't want you doing that. I don't want you doing HIIT workouts every single day. We did do sweat intensity, of course, as you can see, but that was just 3 days a week. And I didn't starve her and then expect her to train like an athlete. Like I don't want you to turn rabid, okay? I need you to eat, because if you don't, it just makes things worse, okay? So what I did for Ieasha, and I'll put it inside of these comments, is that I did I trained her 3 times a week. So we did 3 full body strength workouts per week. I had her do some light cardio on her off days, and or we did sweat intensity during the week to really build the foundation of her workouts. And then after we got through that for like the first month, we went on to a progressive overload. And I'm going to put all this in the comments, because then you'll do 3 to 4 strength days, but you'll split it up: upper day, lower body day, front of the body day, back of the body day, however you want to. And then, of course, we continue with sweat intensity to do the HIIT workouts. But I always increased her weight once her body was used to what we was doing, but never to fatigue her, but just to make sure that we had this progressive overload in phase 2. The third thing that I did for her is when we was rounding out and you get to see her after pics, to keep her size, I really wanted to make sure that what we were doing was able to become a lifestyle routine for her. Because if I can get her used to strength training at the core of her program every week, and using cardio as the finisher, not necessarily like a punishment, because some people feel like cardio is a punishment, but it's to round out, especially if you have PCOS. Go ahead and do your strength training and then end with your cardio. And then we had recovery days or off days, stretching, yoga, Pilates, whatever the case may be, to really keep her cortisol down. So as you go through this journey and you see her working out, like it was literally 6 weeks, 12 weeks, 18 weeks at a time. She was feeling stronger, sleeping better, craving less junk food. After, 2-3 months with me, her clothes was fitting different. I remember her smile. I remember she coming in having more energy. She was talking in class like, I'm down to do burpees. You know what I'm saying? She used to hate to do burpees. We would do the sled and things like that. And she just enjoyed working out, and she found that to be her peace, because now she was seeing results from her workouts like she never did before. But of course, workouts is only half the equation, right? I can give you a good workout with no problem, but if your nutrition isn't built for PCOS, then you're gonna stay stuck regardless of how great the workout is. So what I want to do next is show you exactly the meal plan that I built for Ieasha, how we was able to keep her full, keep her less bloated, keep her not feeling heavy, but of course make sure that it worked well for her hormones. That's up next. So about this food, because if you have PCOS, what you eat matters just as much as how you train, right? We already know that. 80% food, 20% working out. And this is where a lot of people go wrong again, because they either gonna cut out every carb, like I said, and end up miserable, because who wants to be carb free for the rest of their life, or they keep eating in a way that's gonna spike their blood sugar all day, and neither of those is gonna work long term. So because PCOS, again, is tied to insulin resistance, which means that your body is extra sensitive to big blood sugar spikes, our goal for Ieasha and for a client with PCOS is to keep the nutrition as simple as possible. We want to make sure that we pick foods that keep the blood sugar steady, foods that reduce inflammation, and then, of course, foods that keeps you full and that you like, because if it's not a chore and you can just mentally connect to it, then you'll stay consistent. So I'm going to put this up on the screen. This is literally a meal day that was inside of Ieasha's app, which was balanced, right? The key principles was protein, the healthy fat, and slow digesting carbs on the glycemic index, really. Anti-inflammatory foods, berries, leafy greens, olive spices, and then we always for sure make sure that we have either minimum or no processed sugar and refined carbs. So if you can look on the screen, you'll basically see that for breakfast she had 3 whole eggs, avocado, spinach sauteed in olive oil, which is, of course, you can make this an omelet with no problem. There's a couple ways that you can make this particular meal. I know for a fact that Ieasha loved to make omelets, and then of course we always added Ezekiel bread if we was doing a leg day, if she needed some carbs in the morning. Lunch was always simple stuff for her, grilled chicken breast or another protein, quinoa, roasted zucchini, carrots, no broccoli or cauliflower. We don't do those because they bloat you. Drizzle of olive oil. Her snacks always contained of Greek yogurt, walnut, cinnamon, which is a great thing for craving sugar, for curving sugar cravings. If you don't know, cinnamon does that. And then for dinner, salmon or lean ground turkey, another protein, a sweet potato, steamed greens, spinach, and green beans, as you can see. So this is exactly the type of plan that we built for Ieasha inside the app. And we make sure that it was like really simple, right? Step by step. Give her the plan, give her the guide, give her the grocery list, give her the recipe, and then everything is laid out there so she don't have no guesswork. And the best part of it is like she loved these foods. She never felt starved. She never felt like it was something tedious and her mind couldn't do it. And she didn't have to cut out carbs like most people do because she wanted to stay thick. And when I show you these pictures, you're going to see for a fact that I snatched her stomach, but she stayed thick because that's what she wanted to do, keep her size. And the only way that you're going to keep your size when you're trying to lose weight is to put the right carbs in there. So she just followed the plan. She stayed consistent, and her hormones started working with her instead of against her. It's really that simple. So I know you want to see these before pics if you haven't seen them before, if you haven't seen this particular story or journey of any of my webinars. So the results speak for themselves. So let's take a look at Ieasha's before and after pics, her workouts, how her mind shift shifted, and we can see really what changed for her just behind the scale. All right, so I know what y'all waiting on, right? The part that everybody be waiting on, the results, right? Because I always talk about real people, real results, be butt naked fine. So I guess it's time to prove it, right? So, but before I roll these pics out of Ieasha, I just want you to remember that with PCOS, this doesn't happen overnight, okay? I am the flat stomach expert. I can make things happen, but I just want you to know that this took time. Patience and consistency, which you will have, is always just one day, one meal, one workout, one day at a time to be butt naked fine, all right? And that's exactly why this worked. This particular transformation from the first pic that I show you, just, you know, through a lot of pics that is going to be shown right here as I talk about this, is about 1.5 years that I worked with her, and you just watch her body just change and become better. So here's where Ieasha started, of course, frustrated, not loving her body, not believing that something was going to work, and then here she is now, no stomach, you feel me, but still the same shape, she's still thick, you know, that's exactly what she wanted, stronger, a lot more confidence. You in the mirror with a 2-piece on, and then she is control of her health, right? Now, we always love measurements and we always love the scale to go down, but there's a lot of non-scale victories here as we do this, right? Her sleep improved, her cravings dropped, her cycles got more regular. She had energy again. She wanted to be outside. She wanted to be seen. She wanted to keep going. And she didn't do this by cutting out no food that she loves. She didn't have to live in the gym. All she had to do was follow a plan and show up every single day, even on the days that she didn't feel like it, because that is the part that makes me so proud of her, that Ieasha didn't just lose weight. She started believing in herself again, and that's what I love for my clients. She saw that her body could change, that if she just stopped trying to figure out a weight loss plan and really make it a lifestyle, then everything that she wanted will become full circle. And guess what? Here's the thing. I built this exact program inside of my app so that you can have the same experience if you have PCOS. I want you to love yourself the same way Ieasha does. So if it's cool with you, this last chapter, I'll show you how it works and how you can get started today. Hey, what's up? It's Ryan. Thanks so much for tuning in today. You just invested in yourself, and that is the first step towards real change and being butt naked fine. So I want to make sure that you got everything you need to keep this momentum going, because I know you're ready to get things cracking. So if you want a full plan laid out for you, custom workouts, custom meal plans, grocery lists, progress tracking, accountability, consistency, able to talk to me back and forth, me and my team, all that happens inside of my Fit for Life app, and you can join right now using some of the links in the description. I also want to make sure that you subscribe right here to this YouTube channel because we go live every single week, 3 days a week during our classes. Mondays is core and cardio, Wednesdays is glutes and gains, Saturdays is strength and training, and you guys can really work out with me in real time. It happens 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Saturday mornings at 10 o'clock in the morning. Now, if you want to catch me live and actually talk with me, I run a webinar and I break down the full program, I answer questions, and I help you figure out what your next step be. Just text the word webinar to 937-883-6907 and I'll send you a link to the next one I do. I just really break down the program and you can ask me questions in real time. Now, if you just so happen to be brand new to this channel or you just started following me and you want to kind of see what the workouts is like and you really want to get moving today, then also inside of this description is a free 10-minute workout in a 3-day meal plan, and you can download that right now. The link is www.fitforlife.com/getmoving, and it's in the description. So I really super duper appreciate you all tuning in. I hope I get to work with you. This is the Sweatensity Standard, where I will always set the bar higher for health every single week. So hit subscribe again, share this with someone who needs it, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much.
Let's go! Sweatensity, y'all. Turn up. It's history to make it.